Question 13. Solve each of the following equations. Part A. So this is a standard one-step equation here. We need to find out what x is. So to do that, we have to follow step 1. Which is getting the letter on its own. To do that, we need to do step 2. Which is change side, change sign. So this x isn't on its own yet, so I can't say what it is. This divide by 4, because when it's written as a fraction, this line means divide. I need to move that to the other side. It's in my way. So x equals, keep the equals in a nice straight line, bring the 8 down. Don't steal its seat, it was there first, that would be rude. So then I said I needed to take this divide by 4 over to the other side. So when we change side, we change sign. So divide turns into a times. Timesing would turn into a divide, because the opposite of dividing is timesing, the opposite of timesing is dividing, the opposite of adding is taking away, and the opposite of taking away is adding. So it was a divide by 4 over this side. Now it's going to turn to a times by 4. So x equals 8 times 4 is 32, and that will give you 1 mark. Part B is quite similar, but this time it has a divide by x here. So that x is not on its own because that 7 is in the way there. But because it's a divide by x, we're going to do the same as we did up here. Leave the 7 there. Bring the 14 down, they were already there. We're moving this divide by x onto the opposite side. So instead of dividing by x, it's going to be a times by x. So 14 times x, when the number is right next to the letter, I don't need to write the times sign. This means 14 times x. So it's a divide by x here, move it over, times by x. So we're not quite done yet because this letter isn't on its own. This 14 is in its way. So we're going to keep the letter on its own. And this time, as you can see, we're working backwards a little bit. Instead, this x is on this side. It doesn't matter because this equal x equals this and x equal what's on the other side here. So that 7 was already there. Bring it down, don't be rude. And it was a times by 14 over here. So when I change side, change sign, the opposite of timesing is dividing. So if you see how they wrote dividing in this question, divide by 4, well this time it's going to be a divide by 14 because I've taken it from here as a times over to the other side, so it's a divide. I could leave this as it is, and that would give me the 1 mark, or I could actually answer this now. So 7 divided by 14, if you can see that the 14 is exactly double of the 7, so if I divide it by that, it would give me 0.5. 0.5, or I could say 1 over 2. So either of these would be correct if I wanted to actually answer it, but I could leave it as 7 over 14 equals x. That would also give you the mark. Part C. So this has x on both sides. It has unknown on both sides of the equation. So I'm going to use the same rules. First of all, I need the bigger x on the left. Then I need all the letters on the left. And then I need the numbers on the right. and I must remember to change side, change sign. Okay, so this one's a little bit more difficult. That's why it's a 3-mark question. So I need to check if I've got the bigger x on the left. So I've got a 9x and a 2x. I'm just going to rewrite this question so it's easy to see. Okay, so I've got 9x here on the left and the 2x there. So 9 is bigger than 2, so I do have the bigger x on the left, so that's fine. Now I need to make sure that I have all the letters on the left. So this letter is on the right-hand side here, so I need to bring it over. So that 9x is in the right place, bring it down, it was there first. And then I need to bring this 2x over onto the opposite side. So it's a positive 2x here, because I'm moving the whole thing, there's no negative in front of it. So the positive 2x comes over to the other side, and as we saw earlier, the opposite of a positive number is going to be negative. Opposite of adding is taking away. So that positive 2x comes over and becomes negative 2x, or take away 2x. So now I've got the letters on the left, I need to get the numbers on the right. So I've already moved this over. On the right hand side I've got plus 39. So I don't need to write the plus there before the number. That was there first, remember, don't steal its seat. And then on this side, in the question, I've got that plus 4. Well, the numbers should be on the right hand side now. So I'm going to take this plus 4 and I'm going to put it onto the other side. So when I change side, change sign, the plus 4 becomes a take away 4. This is the part where people make the most mistakes. You have to remember letters left, numbers right. So I've moved this over here and I've moved that over here, making sure that I changed the signs. Now it becomes a bit easier. So I've got 9x take away 2x. How many x's does that leave me? That leaves me with 7x. Again, remember the equals in a nice straight line. 39 take away 4, well that's nice and easy. That gives me 35. So I'm left now with a one-step equation, nice and easy. I want the letter on its own, that 7 is in my way, so I take it over to the other side. Bring the 35 down, don't steal its seat, that would be rude. When I bring the 7 over here, it was a times by 7 over there, so now it's going to be a divide by 7 over here. So x equals 35 divided by 7, which equals 5. So you get 1 mark if you've correctly got letters on the left, numbers on the right and changed a sign. You get 1 mark if you have 7x is 35. And then the final mark for x equals 5.